This is the story of how I fired Google Maps. I had a reservation for a campsite at Lake Alamo Lake State Park in Arizona. And I had Google Maps getting me directions there. And we were within 10-15 miles of the park. And suddenly Google Maps says, turn right here. And I look and it's a dirt road with no signs. And I said, I'm not turning on that dirt road. So I kept going. And then Google Maps again said, turn right here. It's another dirt road. But this one has a sign. It says Park Road. So I have to be close, right? So I take Park Road, and it's a dirt road, but it's okay. And we're going along, and it's starting to get worse, and it gets worse, and it gets worse. Then there's washouts. Then there's a really big washout. I had to engage four-wheel drive. We keep going. But the good news is we're going to have a nice sunset over the mountains, and we'll be eating around dark. And we keep going and going and going. We go past a makeshift RV city. I didn't see anything threatening, but it was just kind of creepy. Then the lake is in sight. There are people sort of boondocking on either side of the road. And I keep going and going and going. And I get to the edge of the lake. And Google Maps said, make a U-turn. So I sat there, and then it just started spitting out random directions. In 400 feet, turn left. Make a U-turn. Turn right. Back up. So I found a couple of guys, perfectly nice. They had about 20 teeth between them. And they were out camping. So I said, there's supposed to be a state park around here. Do you have any idea where it is? And they said, yeah, you got to go back to the main road, all the way back the way I came, and take a right, and you'll be right there. So I deleted Google Maps right there, turned around, and headed back the way I came. Now it's getting dark. So I had to go all that way in the dark. I got to the main road, took a right, found my way into the state park, and I'm going through these campgrounds, and I can't find my site. Let me tell you something about state parks. You know when you're on the interstate and those big green signs with the reflecting letters on them? None of the state parks have signs anything like that. They're all wood. So to see them at night is very, very difficult. And often they only have information on one side. So there'll be information as you're entering the park, but not as you're leaving. I ran into some people who had a map, found the campsite. It's 9 o'clock. Nobody's had any food. And it was exhausting. And as a result, we slept late the next day. So I have no footage of that, of that state park. So we moved on, and let's move on. Up next, the Colorado River. I kind of wasn't expecting this in a crappy little state park. That's California, by the way. We're heading over there today. As you can see, this part of the desert is still under construction. There's big piles of dirt and rocks everywhere. Crews will probably be back on Monday. We're in a place called Owl Canyon, near Barstow, California. It's about as alien a place as I've ever been. And so is the canyon. I think this is my first time in a canyon. A literal canyon. Go, Bruno, go. Right, go. No. Well, this is a heartbreaker. We just came to a scramble that's got to be 5-6 feet tall. I can make it up. I can help Darla make it up. Bruno will never make it up, which is too bad because what we're missing out on is whatever that is. We're going back. Yes, we missed the cave at Owl Canyon. Owl Canyon was one of the coolest places we went, and might put that on the list of places to return to. Interesting thing about Joshua Tree National Park that I didn't know until I got there: dogs are not allowed on any of the trails. So I went to a ranger and I said, I get that the dogs aren't allowed on the trails. Where can I take them? Where can I take them? And the ranger said, any place that you see a dirt road, dogs are allowed. So she showed me on a map where there were some dirt roads. I found a dirt road and parked, and we took that little walk that you saw, and we went a few miles out and a few miles back, and it was gorgeous, and we didn't see another soul. So we were driving the 30 miles to get out of the park. Every trailhead we went by was mobbed. So it actually worked out better that dogs weren't allowed on the trails, because we had our private little hike. That's all we have time for this week. We probably borrowed into next week's time too. But join us next time for a special celebrity edition of